Well, today we are getting back to digging. Yes, we have already spent several weeks digging out this floor, but we are getting back to it, which gives us a chance to answer a pretty common question. All of the other places that we've been digging have been a lot easier to get at. We're going to work on the foyer today. Just like with everywhere else, we have to dig down 60 centimeters or so. I'm just hoping we don't hit rock here.
This feels a lot softer than what it was before.
Because of all
at least what I did.
Water. So the reason we've stopped digging and haven't been digging for the last little while is, well, we got sick of it.
Well, it's hard on your body to do this. Especially Bradey.
Yeah. So much of it.
He did a lot more than me.
So much of it has to be done by hand. We're actually trying to get an excavator in for the hardest room. The kitchen is mostly solid rock. This dirt here might as well be solid rock because you have to use a jackhammer just to break it up to get started. But in there it actually is solid rock. So believe it or not, you can get an excavator small enough to squeeze through that doorway, which will be adventurous. But we're trying. Otherwise, we'll have to do that by hand as well. So I said we got sick of it, but it's more than that. It's, to me, whatever project you're excited to work on, that's what you should work on. So we were excited to dig, so we worked on that. And then we were excited to work on the floor, so we worked on that. And realistically, it doesn't change the efficiency. It's just, like, you got to keep working. Like, there's so much to do. And for me personally, if I get bogged down on one specific task for too long, if I have to dig for a month straight, then I'm just going to kind of give up. But if I can bounce between tasks, it just makes the job a lot more enjoyable. I should have power washed before digging.
Yeah, that would have made it a lot easier. This is so much easier than the first room we did.
All of the water soaking into the ground
Oh my goodness.
has made it so much easier.
It's more like dirt, actually. What you think of when you think of dirt.
I wonder if it's just the top layer that'll be easier, if it's going to be easier the whole way down.
You're gonna hit me.
Tight spaces. Oh, this is why I was using the bucket before. I'm just gonna use the bucket.
Yeah, you're gonna whop me in the face. Hey Bradey.
Yep.
Shouldn't we have done the bottom of the beams first before we dug out this floor?
Isn't that the problem we got into last time? You didn't like my Spider-Man routine last week.
Oh my. Oh wow. You're just going for it. Oh my goodness. I mean, we should probably do that first before you dig this out.
Fine. It's right there.
So we are taking a bit of a break right now. Bradey is actually meeting with a construction company that we're hoping to bring in to help us with some of the work. But he told me that we basically have a giant pumpkin patch growing on this terrace, and I haven't been down here to check it out yet, so I need to come and see and look, and I thought I would film while I'm doing that so you guys can take a look as well. We did not plant any pumpkins this year. We did dispose of a pumpkin on a compost pile that was here already when we bought the property. So I'm excited to see what this looks like. Oh my goodness. Here's a big one. It's getting eaten up a bit. That's giant. That's huge. Oh my goodness. Let's see what else we can find. I can only find one. But he said there were like plenty down here, so I'll have to see if he can point out the other ones to me, and then I'll show you guys later. But oh my goodness, it's just crazy how that's just popped up out of nowhere. I think it's such a beautiful picture of nature. Like, I worry so much about my gardening skills, and then we can just have random pumpkins growing. I think it's just really, really cool. I think we probably should trim it back and prune it so that if we want the pumpkins to really grow. But this year, we're not trying to grow pumpkins. It's just kind of a happy accident. But definitely next year, I think we'll probably try to grow pumpkins. We were learning the things that grow best on our property: zucchini, strawberries, obviously pumpkins. So that's the things that I want to be focusing on in the future as we're growing things on our property.
I actually just had a meeting with a contractor who has a micro excavator. Oh, this is stuck. That they can actually bring and drive through doorways, like a tiny little excavator. And you can put on a hydraulic hammer and chisel through rock 100 times better than this guy. He's coming soon, but we just have a little bit more to get through by hand. There's some areas and some rooms that we just couldn't bring it into. Actually, the office, we could have brought that in there. The living room, I don't think so. I don't think that's possible. We've got to get through the stairway area, a few other small areas, and then we're going to have an excavator inside the house. I'm remembering why we took such a long break from this. I feel like we've been avoiding this for the last 2 months. There's no more avoiding it. You see our giant pumpkins?
I saw one. I couldn't find the others. I need you to show me where they are.
Was it a big one though? Like
It was
soccer
one
ball
big,
size?
like green one.
It was green?
I saw one big green one.
Yep, that's the biggest one.
Okay. This month, the girls are opening up a crate from KiwiCo. KiwiCo provides fun, enriching, hands-on projects for kids that can be shipped to your door each and every month. This month, the girls are enjoying the Atlas Crate, which is a great way for kids to grow in their understanding of the world in a really fun and engaging way. We are learning about 2 different countries today, Brazil and the Netherlands.
Look, cookies! And the windmill!
Alexa is making a Starry Night painting out of yarn and even making her own mini soccer game.
Yay! 1 point for yellow.
Chloe is making her own little stuffy sloth and even making her own windmill just like they have in the Netherlands. The Atlas Crate is best for kids ages 6 and up, but KiwiCo actually has 9 different lines, so no matter the interest or age of your child, there is something for them, even newborn babies. From science and engineering to art and design, there really is something for everyone. One thing that I love about KiwiCo is that you actually can try an individual crate before you sign up for a subscription, so you can let your kids try out different lines and see what they like the most. If you are ready to try out KiwiCo for your kids or your grandkids, we have a special coupon code for you. By using this code, you not only help our channel, but you also get a special discount. Thank you so much to KiwiCo for sponsoring today's video.
Well, shoot. I'm only about halfway there. Thankfully, I have a lot of other work to do besides digging. A lot of work. I need to measure a long distance pipe for our Blackwater, our sewer pipe. Even though we're very remote here, there is a sewer connection, surprisingly, a fair distance away. I need to measure it out exactly so we can make the calculations for how far to dig and how much pipe. I'm kind of avoiding this because the further it is, the more expensive it gets. But it's time to find out once and for all. $285 meters. It's really not that bad considering how remote we are. I'd expect it to be a lot more, but thankfully, for whatever reason, just 285 meters away, there's a sewer connection. It's good for us. I went about 75 meters out of the way to avoid destroying parts of the stone wall. It's a lot more money to go around it, so I need to consider if I want to go the most direct route or the most convenient route. So I have a new toy or tool, if you would prefer. Up until now, I've been using just a hardware store broad axe. This guy right here for all of the hand hewing, which there's nothing really special about this. It's just a standard broad axe, and actually technically it's not even the right tool for the job, which I'll explain later. But today I have the right tool for a job. This is an antique broad axe. It's believed, based on the markings, to have been forged around the late 1800s. I don't know if you can see, but it's got some really cool markings there. And it clearly has not been used in a very long time. Someone has gone and made a brand new handle for it, fitted it quite nicely. It actually, this style of axe has a curved handle. It's not straight, and it's very short. And I'll explain later why it's curved. But I've been hand hewing these beams knowingly with the wrong axe this entire time, waiting to find the right one. See if I'm gonna be putting in all of this effort hand hewing all of these beams, which is worth it to go through the process by hand. And I'll talk more later why my methodology and thought process of why I've chosen to hand hew these versus just shape them with a chainsaw. But I'm excited to get this sharpened for the first time in what I would guess is 50 plus years. Now, sharpening an axe is a art form and skill set all in of itself, one that I'm not the best at, but we're gonna try today. I'm having trouble keeping it clamped because of the curved blade. Normally you would clamp to the handle itself, but it just won't stay put. So the reason why the current broad axe that I'm using is technically not the right tool for the job is because it's sharpened evenly on both sides, which is designed to dive deep and cut through the wood, yes, but it's not designed to then peel off and flatten the log into a beam. So really, realistically, you need two different forms of axes to do things properly. One is to dive deep and make those large ridges that I do, and then a second axe to hew away and flatten. Essentially what I'm doing here is only sharpening, only putting a bevel on one side, essentially making an extremely large chisel. So because of how old this axe is, I had to aggressively take off a very large amount. Realistically, I should keep taking it down, but it's also been about 45 minutes of sharpening. So from the beginning, I've known that I've been doing this technique not wrong, just not the way that anyone else does. You're supposed to actually stand on top of the log and hew the side, kind of like this. You're supposed to stand here and then hew the side with the large axe, and then you come back with the small broad axe and stand like this, doing the sides. It's not really a technique that I feel is going to work for me because I prefer having good posture and working from this position as I've been doing from the beginning. But I at least want to try the original method and see if it works for me. This is why the handle is curved, so that you can essentially swing right next to the trunk, right next to the beam, without smashing your fingers. It's a technique that maybe since I started a different way, it just doesn't feel right for me. Plus you're cutting against the grain rather than with the grain, which gives a different aesthetic look. It's an interesting technique. It's of course the most common technique, but I'm not sure if it's the right technique for me. Feels like a lot more work, or maybe I just need to practice more.